I understand that this week is Small Business Advice Week, and you've done some research about small businesses and their attitudes to accessing kind of financing loans and that kind of stuff. Can you tell us a bit about that research?
So there's been quite a bit of research done by British Business Bank, just sort of background to the sort of funding options for business. So what's fascinating is the kind of the reticence really of small businesses to seek advice to find out what their options are to raise finance. Now, clearly, to grow your business sometimes, if you don't have the profits to support your growth aspirations, you're going to have to raise finance. And that might be whether you're a startup, some tech startup, or it can be a corner shop. It doesn't really matter. And that can be debt or equity. So what the research found is that 81% of smaller businesses have sought no advice whatsoever when they're seeking external finance, which I find surprising. And 73% of businesses would rather forego growth than actually borrow money. And that's something which, if you compare it more as anecdotally, it's not really in the research, the US, for example, in my experience, that's quite different.
Absolutely. And obviously, as a former investor at Dragon's Den, one of the key themes that comes up regularly on that is how to scale a business, how to kind of grow a business. How important is external finance for the average small business to actually grow?
So there's no absolute, prerequisite to raise finance to grow your business. You can grow your business over a period of time through plan back profits. But in some cases, if you have, it might be simple things like, working capital, you might be looking to export and need trade finance, it could be asset financing, lots of different reasons why you may need to raise finance. But in its most simplistic forms, often if your business is not generating the profits that you need to reinvest to, for your growth aspirations. And I think increasingly, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, having a plan which includes no growth in very dynamic markets is a bad plan. So you need to be looking to grow. Trying to just stay where you are and tread water these days is risky. So the options, there's a spectrum, raises from, equity investment, people buying shares in your business, all the way through to debt. And what you've seen over recent years, the last 5 years particularly, is that the financing options have changed massively. There were things like, peer-to-peer lending, crowdfunding, and these are things that if you've been around for some time, you may not fully understand. And that's where you need to, especially in those situations and those products, you need to go and seek advice to make sure you understand the options. And that's what British Business Bank has sort of exists to do in many ways, and has created the Finance Hub to help companies do exactly that.
And what's the average kind of psychology? Obviously, it's going to change from business owner to business owner, but in terms of business owners in general, from your research, are they generally quite receptive to seeking finance, or is there a bit of wariness around that?
It depends, doesn't it? So again, you're absolutely right. It depends on the makeup of that entrepreneur business owner. And they're quite different things. Somebody who's taking on risks, wants to raise finance, your sort of archetypal tech startup compared to a family-owned business that's been run by the family for generations, they're very different. But I think there's this reticence that exists in the UK especially to bringing in, I think the psychology is it's bringing in other people, third parties, people who, they're not within the fold essentially, to bring them into the business and they have some say in how you run your business and in your decision making. And that's something a lot of people sort of shy away from. And now there's no need for that. Essentially, raising finance is a contract. And when you agree a contract, be it debt or equity, you have to make sure you're happy with it and you understand the small print and you know how that plays out under different scenarios, good and bad.
Absolutely. And looking at the research here, it looks like those businesses that use additional external support, whether that's kind of mentor advice and things like that, are 15 to 25% more likely to become high growth firms. Why do you think mentorship and support is just so important for smaller businesses?
So if you're, I don't have all the answers. I'm, looking at running businesses, investing in them, even starting businesses, and I don't have all the answers. You never do. And if you're a small business, you've come from a particular background with particular experience, it often doesn't sort of, I'm an ex-investment banker and venture capital lawyer, so I've got that sort of a background sort of built into me. But a lot don't have that experience, that understanding. And often your accountant may not have that experience either. So you can't just expect your network or those around you to understand all the options, especially as they're growing and the variety of options is growing massively. So your accountant may not understand it. You can't expect them to go down to the high street banks and hear all your options, because you won't. So you need experts, a network, mentors, advisors that can explain the options to you. And if they don't exist, then things like the Finance Hub, they're designed to you answer 6 easy questions about your business, your aspirations, how much money you need, what you need it for, and that gives you sort of signpost you what kind of finance you should be looking for and what the sources are too.